thank you for watching the video version of Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. Because YouTube fucking sucks, we had to edit out all of the licensed music because laws, I guess. If you want to hear the full unedited versions, you can go to iTunes and Spotify or wherever you get podcasts, and you'll get the whole version with us talking over the songs and yada, yada, yada. It sucks, and life isn't fair, but thank you for watching anyway. Welcome to Every Album Ever. Damn! I already fucked that one up. With Mike and Alex, my name is Michael Mansour. I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alexander Volt. Say hello.
I was going to say we podcast econo, but this has not been a picnic.
Is it?
Say no picnic.
You threw two in one.
Yes.
Because we pod econo here. Everything that just transpired before we hit record is all econo.
All econo.
Oh my God, we're idiots and we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Anyway, this is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. It's a new discography, more or less, per episode. And today we're talking about the fucking amazing Minutemen.
Yes. For the first time, I feel no pressure to hit a certain time mark on this episode. I'm sure we'll get to that hour, but
for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if we didn't, it would be very appropriate.
Yeah, Minutemen. I don't want to jump in immediately, but I will say I like this band.
This is my first deep dive.
Really?
I enjoyed them a lot.
Oh, I like where this is going. So if you have any questions, any comments, any love, any hate, want us to talk about a specific artist you might want to hear about, send everything you want to everyalbumever@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, rate, review, all the things tell a friend. Please, if you like this, tell a friend. Tell someone who might enjoy this or don't. That's also an option.
Tell an enemy,
Tell an enemy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, after this episode, be sure to check out our Spotify playlist of the Minutemen that we've made for you guys. It's songs that Alex and I have handpicked, our favorites, as well as playlists from every other episode. So go back in the archives, listen to all the things that we think are good because we're the experts.
Yep. And usually we do a limit, but due to the nature of the Minutemen, I'm like, no, we need more than 10 songs.
Yeah. Okay. So we've mentioned this in the past, specifically with our Misfits episode, which you should go back and check out. That was episode 11, I think. This is Every Album Ever, not every EP ever. Okay. We're not fucking maniacs. However, on this episode, it's kind of every EP ever. So
when that's the bulk of your discography,
okay,
you got to do it.
The Minutemen, they're a hardcore band. That's a kind of a loose blanket statement, but they were in the hardcore scene, meaning that albums were sparse and EPs were abundant. So EPs were as important, if not, maybe not more important. No, they're as important as albums for punk bands in this era. So every time a band came with a new EP, it was like a big deal. They would tour around promoting the EP or whatever. So we're going to look at each of the Minutemen's EPs as well as their albums as their own separate entry. Some of them are real short. It's
going to be great.
And I mean, like 3 minutes for a whole release. It's 3 minutes. Yep. A whole release. I just peeked in my ear because I'm so excited.
You just turned into George Costanza.
I did. My hand gestures are very Costanza-esque. If you're watching the video, thank you for watching the video. But also, you'll see that our setup is once again changed because we don't know what the fuck we're doing, and we're trying our best to get situated.
Trying something new every episode.
And there's only two of us, so I have no idea what it looks like right now. There's a tripod. I'm looking at the camera. I'm assuming the camera sees me as well. Hopefully Alex too. He's a larger fella than I am. Both in the size of his heart and as well as his stature. So, because we're counting all the EPs as albums, essentially, we got 12 releases we're going to be talking about. First one was in 1980. The last one, 1986. That's a lot of shit jam-packed into 6 years. Okay. Personal backstory with the Minutemen. You said this is your first deep dive.
first deep dive. I know of them. I've seen Mike Watt twice.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
a random.
You know what? I brought this for video watchers. This is a very, very, very old iPod Touch 4.
Is that the one? Does it have the picture?
On this, I have an old photo saved. You know, I have a whole bunch of. This is fucking funny. This little device that I'm holding, this was lost in Alex's couch for 2 years.
Oh, it was. It really was.
I remember the day I lost it. I was heartbroken. I remember the following days begging him to like tear apart his couch because I knew it was in there. And he said, "Sorry, no luck." Years later, it just stumbled up. It happened across Alex once again. And now it's back in my hands. And on this old ass iPod, here is a photo of me with long hair and terrible facial hair when I was like 21 or something, maybe 20 years old, with Mike Watt. I love this photo.
It's beautiful.
It's not bad,
so
right?
Beautiful.
I'll be in the video. You'll see a picture attached to it on the video. You should be looking at it right now. And then when I post it on Instagram to promote it, I'll put this photo as well. I was real happy. I love Mike Watt. He's one of my favorite bass players of all time, as well as one of my favorite musicians of all time. I think he's a very interesting guy. Charming guy. Very efficient. Very.
Yes, for those who aren't familiar, Minutemen like to say they jam econo.
They jam econo.
Economically,
yeah. Don't spend money where you don't got to spend money. How I've lived my life, mostly because of poverty. But also, I think about Mike Watt and the Minutemen. They're like dialect, where they have these terms. Like he'll just shorten words for no fucking reason. Like he'll say prac instead of practice.
Yeah.
Or a proj instead of project. Like it's not that hard to say the full word, but
yeah,
insists on shortening it. See, this is what happens when you prac.
Yeah, they got these weird like inside jokes.
Yeah,
that we'll talk about. That this like flew over people's heads, and it was this. It really seemed like they were just making music for themselves, which is awesome.
It's wonderful, and you could clearly tell that Mike Watt and singer and guitarist D Boon were best friends, and there was like the chemistry in this group is just wonderful. You could hear it in pretty much all the albums. My personal history with this band, I think I first got into them when I was in high school. I think probably 15, 16, and maybe even 14. And that's like the proper time to get into punk and hardcore, I think.
Yeah.
I did, like a lot of the other bands we've talked about in the past, I talked about how I was exposed to them very early, grade school early, too young. This is the right time. This is when I was mad and I wanted something like a scene to bond with. And the hardcore scene was that. And this band I saw, I guess at the right time, We Jam Econo, which is a documentary based on the Minutemen. Fantastic doc. I know you watched it. What'd you think?
I did. Very insightful. It's filmed like every skate video ever released in the early 2000s, because I'm sure that's what they had around them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it pretty much tells you everything you need to know, unless you're listening to this podcast, in which we'll regurgitate.
Yeah, we'll regurgitate. Yeah, we'll be regurgitating, but also important band for me. This was one of the biggest hardcore bands for me because they didn't sound like hardcore.
No, they had this beautiful. They totally understood what punk was.
Oh yeah,
that it could be whatever you want it to be. But then like people would go to the shows and fucking spit on them and be like, that's not punk. But they were like the most punk rock.
The most punk. I mean, that's the whole point. Like I feel like they would have been less outcast if they were around a little earlier, because they were on early. I mean, the first EP was 1980. That's early. But if like 76, 77 was when anything that was different was punk.
Okay.
And that's what they were going off of. When they came around, it was hardcore was kind of manifesting, and hardcore was not anything that wasn't hardcore. Hardcore is very specific. It's, Black Flag, Minor Threat, Bad Brains, fast punk, very fast. Like the faster, the better. Minutemen were up here with these funky ass fucking closing the hi-hat, fucking these bass lines that are
beautiful,
uncontrollable bass lines.
Yeah.
And then the guitar is this crazy, it's like funky.
I got so pissed off when I found out the drummer George Hurley.
Yeah, George Hurley.
He'd only been playing drums for like a year and a half.
George Hurley is one of my favorite drummers of all time.
He's Prodigy.
Unreal. Yeah. Complete prodigy. Yeah.
Insane.
And total surfer dude, bleach blonde hair, like seems like kind of dumb, but he's just this talented drummer dude, very quiet, jack to high hell. I'm pretty sure he was like a buff dude. Interesting guy.
Oh, this guy could have been in like a new wave band.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
something.
With that fucking hair. He had I think they call it the unit.
Or the quaff.
Well, he called it the unit. I know that's for sure. Like he had a nickname. Everyone, I remember in the doc at some point they said that he would get his drumstick stuck in his own hair. When he
nice.
It was just this big old fucking. There's photos back there. You might be able to see it at some point. But anyway, love this band. Let's get into it. Backstory, foundation. What should we? I other than D Boon, singer Dennis Boon, and bassist Mike Watt. Friends from childhood, best friends from childhood.
Yes, allegedly, D Boon just fell out of a tree.
I think he jumped on him from a tree, thinking he was like one of his other friends or something.
Yeah, and then they became friends, and like D Boon's mom was like, "You guys need to play instruments," and she taught D Boon how to play guitar, and I don't know who taught Mike Watt how to play. If she did, or if it was this kind of like this
friends teaching friends kind of thing or something.
Yeah,
he's real good.
Yeah,
he's like the Minutemen. We mentioned this like very briefly in our X episode, because we're talking about how good X was, perfect like at their instruments. But then we mentioned really quickly that the Minutemen are like the best in terms of each member holding their own. They're like the best.
Yeah, Minutemen and X are like, in a weird way, like prog rock punk.
Yeah. Not quite proggy enough or long enough because the songs are literally 40 secods.
But this
on average.
Yeah, this the way they play their instruments and form songs is real interesting.
Yeah, they're actual songwriters. You could hear it in fucking 99% of their discography. So I guess we should jump into it. And this is also a new for us. The songs are so short. We're just going to play the whole
thing.
Yeah, we're just going to play the whole song because literally 30 to 40 seconds for like the first half of the discography.
Yeah. So, we're good for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
this is
1980 Paranoid Time.
Fuck, man. Dude.
They always have the best short little outros. Like, I love that. Like, how you feel about that song is how I feel about Definitions.
Oh, okay. This EP is almost perfect. This is a fucking amazing.
Well, yeah.
Amazing.
This is only like 3 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay, 7 songs, 7 minutes long. By definition, the Minutemen. And I know they're not actually named the Minutemen after minute songs.
No, it was like to parody.
They're like minute, like they're called like Minutemen. That's kind of what they had in mind.
Yeah, another thing they liked. But and then the other standout track is Joe McCarthy's
Ghost?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all so Sickles and Hammers, instrumental.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
I feel
beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like Sickles and Hammers, like the end of Definitions kind of carries over into that. So it's kind of like one song.
Yeah. I mean, all of it is kind of like one song. I mean, you could, and the thing, one of the thing about this EP is that, well, first of all the songs are well written. And then also, because it's so short, there's not a single ounce of fat, no filler, no little bit of bullshit to be found in the entire thing. Every single thing needs to be there.
Pure econo.
Oh, pure econo. And there's so many things happening in each song, like the outro to the first song, and it's so fast. There's no way you have to listen to this thing 19 times in a row to get it. Like there's so much going on. Each song is so well written and it's so talented. It's brilliant punk rock. It's not just regular punk. It's this really intelligent shit.
Yeah. And it's funny, like looking at them, I think they called themselves like corn dogs. Like, the schlubby looking dudes. Like,
they are.
Who would think?
I mean, D Boon was the fattest frontman in punk history.
Man, if you haven't seen like live footage of the Minutemen, this guy is the most agile big dude on stage. He's like jumping all over the place with like grace too.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And even even though it's like this recording is super raw and it's dirty and it's like messy, all of them, you could hear them like, oh, these guys are just really talented. It's just the production that sounds messy.
Yeah.
They're all so good. And one thing about D Boon's guitar is that he would crank the treble, get rid of all the bass and all the mids on his amp. So it's the most and he wouldn't use distortion a lot of the time.
Okay.
So that's just a clean guitar, but with insane treble. And according to Mike Watt, the reason he did that is because I think Watt said that even with his music, he was political. Like he had to be equal. So by cranking the treble, it made the guitar smaller. Therefore, the bass had space to be the bass.
Yes.
So he wanted every member to be as important as the next member. No one overpowered anything. We're all a fucking democracy. We're all the Minutemen. And it ended up having this cool sound where the guitar is it's this little scratchy thing in the background doing some crazy shit that you'll never be able to figure out because it's so fast and it's so tinny sounding.
Yeah.
And the bass doing all this other funky shit on top of it.
Yeah, it's almost like the guitar because of the treble, it's like pure attack. And like the way you see him play it, yeah, it's this like he doesn't look like he's like grooving something. He's just fucking attacking.
Yeah. But there's a lot of groovy shit going on with this band. This is a fantastic entry point. I don't know how. I mean, it got him some recognition in the punk scene. I don't know how much.
I think Greg Ginn just liked them a lot.
Yeah. This was on SST. I think Raymond Pettibon did the cover for this one and the next one, which is Greg Ginn's brother. He did all the Black Flag artwork. I think it's fantastic. I remember liking this one a lot as a Ute, and I feel the same now. I love it.
Yeah, great little EP.
And it's 7 minutes long. Please listen to it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
All right, let's move on. This is 1981, following year. This is Joy. Oh, yes. Oh, so
I almost want to start like a tribute group called like the Hour Men and just take like the good riffs
and just loop it
and just loop them.
This EP, 3 songs in around 3 minutes. And this was
recorded in like 5 hours.
And already I'm going to throw out some haymakers. Personal favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 3 songs. 3 songs is my personal favorite. And I've always loved this EP. And going back, I knew this was like, I have such fondness for this EP. I know it's 3 songs. It's not an album at all. It's 3 minutes long. It's the length of a short song, of a short regular song from any other band. Like
it opens a interesting thing where like there's paintings that are real minimalistic, or like every painting is not the same size. And so it's kind of weird that music is put into these
boxes.
So if you think these 3 minutes are the best 3 minutes,
there's some of the best 3 minutes in punk history. I truly believe it's like the last EP I was saying that there's no fat, there's no filler. There's not a single wasted note on this EP. Not a single note is in the wrong. Like every second is flawless. Every second is like the song after that, Black Sheep, fucking gorgeous, beautiful. It's dark and it's kind of sad. The song after that, More Joy, it's just weird, sleazy, almost like ugly song. If I put it on, we're just gonna finish the song. I could play the whole EP by the time I'm done with this rant. Like
it would still be good.
Yeah, and every song on here it sounds light years ahead of Paranoid Time, the previous EP, and honestly, not many things after this sounded like this because this EP is just dark. Like that first song, it had this edge to it, and it was more complicated than I was expecting after the first EP, and a lot more complicated than a lot of the shit that would follow it. Like the first EP, you have to listen to it a lot of times to kind of hear what's going on, but there's so much more happening. I think this is punk rock genius. Like, I don't know what else to say. There's 3 songs. You'll waste 3 minutes if you don't like it. If you don't
That's 3
like
minutes of your life.
3 minutes. This is
you're not asking
amazing.
people to check out like Ben-Hur or something.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, there aren't many instances where hardcore punk is this musical, if ever. It's a very musical little EP, and that's what I got to say about that. I feel like I trampled all over anything you might have had to say.
You know, on this and Paranoid Time, I don't really have a whole lot to say. This I enjoyed it, but yeah, they're so short. You know, in the spirit of the Minutemen, I like them a lot, and
I mean, 10 minutes for the first 2 EPs. 10 minutes. That's I mean, you can't even.
Still not an album.
No. Maybe a few more. They'll add up to one album, but now I guess we're going to move on to the first actual album. It's a stretch, but they call it an album. What is it, like 15 minutes? I think it's 15 minutes.
15 minutes, 18 songs.
18 songs, 15 minutes. This is 1981 as well. The Punchline. One thing I forgot to mention, Mike Watt sang a lot in these early days. That was Mike Watt singing, as well as he sang the opening track on Paranoid Time. D. Boon would take over primarily quite a bit later on, but in these days he sang a lot more.
Yeah. So this is my personal favorite.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
I just love like listening to these in order, and then I feel like this one is like the curtain is pulled back here into like the other ones were in Oz, or sorry, in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
And then I feel like
so here
now I'm seeing in like Technicolor.
Really, this is the one. Why do you say that?
I just think 15 minutes of awesomeness. I love Search. I think The Struggle is like the best 40 seconds ever.
Oh, I fucking know it by name, but I can't recall.
Yeah, just gonna play it because it's 40 seconds.
Damn.
So yeah, and then it's funny that you like Joy and I like Punchline because Punchline was recorded before Joy.
Oh, interesting, because my first line in my notes is it sounds more like Paranoid Time than Joy.
Yeah, so this was recorded before Joy, and there's always like these little issues where it's like something is supposed to come out, and they record like another EP after to like get them through. So it's kind of, I think Joy and Punchline are kind of like continued sentence. But I love how like funky it is.
Very funky, extremely funky.
Just a real enjoyable listen.
Yeah, there's not a single bad song. I didn't feel like there was anything that like blew my mind like the last EP or the one before it. Aside from like a few, like The Struggle, obviously, and a couple other songs. But I would say overall throughout the entire thing, vocals real bad.
Like, oh, you think so?
I think they're the funniest than most of their other releases.
I love the music so much on this album. Yeah. I didn't even
like, honestly, like Mike Watt's voice doesn't do it for me for most of the time. I really like D. Boon's voice. It's more so later on, but here, like, it sounds like they put all their efforts on the songs and then like just threw some yelling on top of it afterward.
Sure.
But I mean, again, that was kind of most hardcore. I'm not excusing it though, because I still didn't enjoy that part of it. So.
Yeah.
Even though it's not really uncommon for bands to have done that. But anyway, very good. Your personal favorite. Wasn't expecting that, but it's a delight to hear.
There you go.
Let's go move on. Man, we're fucking blowing through these 4-minute releases. they get longer later on, I swear to God. We're on to 1982, Bean Spill. Oh, okay. So Bean Spill, what'd you think?
So this one has some of the longest songs so far.
What, like minute and a half?
Yeah, we're getting a little
real snoozer those ones.
Yeah. This one I feel like kind of gets lost between Punchline and What Makes a Man Start Fire.
It does, yeah.
For me. But I don't think Minutemen, kind of a spoiler alert, I don't think they recorded a bad album ever or EP. So
they're a great band. I like this EP. I think it's a great EP actually. They get weird. I mean, that first song is a pretty good indicator. They get real weird. Futurism Restated. I fucking love that song.
Oh yeah.
It starts off like fucking wait. Put on the
Okay.
maybe like cut it when it goes to like regular punk song. But the intro was what the fuck is happening?
1 second. These are all jumbled up.
Oh yeah. So all these EPs, they're on Spotify and iTunes, but they're under compilations called Post Mersh Volumes 1, 2, and 3. And I don't know if it's like this on Spotify, but with iTunes, at least with me, or Apple Music rather, when I added Post Mersh Volume 3, which has all these early EPs on it, it split them into 2 different things and mixed up all the orders of the songs.
Interesting.
I had to make it into a playlist just to have the right order. It was a fucking nightmare, but they're on there anyway.
Futurism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the free jazz stuff into a punk song pretty flawlessly, in my opinion. And yeah, I think also it's real funny. Like Boon wrote the more political songs, and Mike Watt wrote the sillier songs.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you just have this like great like smart satire and silliness coexisting in a band, and
it's wonderful. Like the like I said earlier, the chemistry with these guys is, oh man, it's almost contagious. Like
it's insane. They would get in arguments and like talk about like, oh, they're gonna break up the band and who gets to keep George.
Oh yeah.
And George would just be like, fuck you both.
If I should start my own band, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I mean he's the best. Of course you're gonna fight over George. I think Case Closed is like the heaviest song they've written thus far.
You know, usually I think about that when we're doing like a band's discography, but this band I was not concerned with them being heavy or anything really. I was just there for the ride.
Yeah, that's very, very zen way to approach this. I mean, I've heard a lot of it. I didn't hear everything, but I've heard most of this stuff in my youth, and I guess that sort of stuff stuck out to me more now because I glossed over a lot of this, like the punchline and what makes man start fires. I glossed over that when I was younger, but diving in more now, I'm able to appreciate when they got heavy, like the few times they got a little heavy. But great EP. I'm glad we're on the same page there. Little weird. I kind of dig it though. Even that opening song, that jazz dicking around shit, I still kind of, it's like I kind of don't hate it.
Well, the Minutemen is not for basic bitches.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Yeah. So.
So let's move on. What's this?
1983. What makes a man start fire?
So this album, better production, longer songs, as we kind of heard because we didn't play the whole song. I think it's a good album, but they're weakest so far from this point. Yeah.
This one, of course, this like, you know, equality, but I feel like this one is like really bass driven. Like I think this is one of the most like bass prevalent albums they have. Really like Earth, Wind, Faith, very prog rock drum solo in the opening. And it's this empty oil drums.
Empty oil drums?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. All this I'll play that drum solo because it's real short, of course. And yeah, it's not like these crazy like Danny Carey drums or whatever. It's this fucking empty oil drums. Yeah, I think songs like that are real interesting. The hell, The Anchor.
Oh,
yeah, that's like
beautiful.
A classic. Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, 2.5 whole minutes.
Yes.
Oh, what a long. Hey man, they're going against their namesake here.
It's yeah, it's a beautiful song.
It's so good. Actually, one thing I didn't like about this album, and it's actually on that song, even as much as I like it, is D-Boon's funk guitar. Like, it worked really well in the past because of how frantic the songs were, but on The Anchor, it's distracting to me. It's like the bass is so pleasant and catchy, and you're listening to the song for the bass. Like that's a great example. That song is a great example of that. And the guitar seems just kind of inconsequential there. What is it? A Fake Contest? Fucking gorgeous, beautiful. Along with The Anchor, you could hear them like, okay, we're gonna slow things down. We're not gonna be hardcore all the time. We're gonna branch out a little bit. And you could already tell from the early EPs that they were good songwriters, but here they're just like, maybe not everything has to be a fucking 60 miles per hour.
I'll bring up some of those songs later, but yeah, they're real underrated at doing nice little acoustic.
Oh, yes.
Fucking killer. Like,
yeah,
they could have done a whole acoustic album and it would have been fucking amazing.
It would, for sure. Definitely. Split Red, the opening track from Beanspill, it's on here for some reason, which I found odd because like the rest of the album isn't weird.
It's not Misfits level bad though, where the same songs keep.
Yeah, no, nothing like that.
You just get like one or two.
Yeah, this was more like a conscious decision. But anyway, I think it's good. I don't think it's the best, but it has some really standout tracks that I feel like dwarf the rest of the album. Like the Anchor in Fake Contest or Plight or whatever. Like those are all so good that they make the ones in between significantly less memorable.
Sure.
And with an album that's fucking 20 songs on there, like that, I feel like that hurts it more than it helps it. Then again, it's only 27 minutes, so what who gives a shit? Really?
Yeah, that's kind of an issue we'll get later on where there's so much content that you're just like shit.
Yeah. So until then, we're gonna go to 1983. This is Buzzer Howl, Under the Influence of Heat. Fuck, this is a good EP. This is a real good EP. I thought so anyway.
Recorded live.
Really?
On 2 tracks for $50.
Oh, I love it even more now. Fuck.
And then the album covers this like D Boon, Mike Watt yelling at each other like they did.
Yeah, I think Joe Baiza did that from Saccharine Trust. You think it was the guitar player?
Yeah,
Saccharine Trust.
Yeah.
Man, Cut back to being heavy. I have to notice it. Like Cut is heavy as motherfucker.
Yeah, Little Man with a Gun in his hand is just
one of their best.
Yeah,
by far one of the best.
Yeah, like that could have been like a Black Flag song. I mean, it's still weird. I'm not like trying to say.
I don't think it's that weird. I think it's pretty accessible.
Yeah.
I think anyone listening to this should listen to that song or listen to the playlist because for sure it's going to be on there.
Yeah. Or like that song could trick a punk rocker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking good. And it's like 3 minutes. That has a whole middle section where it gets real quiet. And one thing I remember, it's an odd thing that I just remembered. I think my mom was in the room when I was watching the documentary when I was a kid or teenager. And my mom, she plays drums too. And I think there was in the doc, they were playing this, there was like a live performance of Little Man with a gun in his hand. And during the quiet part, the drums are still going fast, but it's still going fast, but it's real quiet. And she's looking at George play this part and she's like, oh my God. To play that fast in this quiet. Oh my God. Like, yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
I remember watching a video with the drummer from Deep Purple, who I can't think of his name. And he's like, yeah, anyone could anyone could do that. But he's like, not a lot of people could do this. And he played it real quiet.
Yeah.
Same speed. And ever since I saw that, I've always been impressed by.
Yeah, it's
can you keep it?
Yeah, steady and straight, and like the restraint is that's what comes after decades of playing instrument. It's doing the little things, playing slowly, playing precise.
Or 4 years if you're.
Or 4 years if you're George Hurley. That fucking where is he? He's not in that photo right there. But fuck that guy. I love him. He's still one of my favorite drummers of all time. He's man. I mean, there's not many songs on here, and there's like some filler in the middle, like Dreams Are Free, Motherfucker, and the Toe Jam. It's just dicking around. They're not even songs. I don't really care for a Dream Told by Moto too much. So it's just like the middle of it. But I felt like a gringo, fucking fun, love it.
Sure.
It's a good EP. It's a good EP. Not consistent, but I think it's great.
15 minutes of your life. It's not.
Yeah. Man, they for sure are fans of quantity. And by extension, the quality eventually comes around.
Sure.
Like, you think that like by putting out hundreds of songs that most are going to be bad, but most are good. Most are good.
Yeah.
It's fucking baffling. Like,
yeah, we could probably dissect every song if we wanted to.
They're that intricate, but they're just so short. It's so fascinating to me. Like,
I'm sure there's songs that I'll go back and listen to, and I'll be like, "Fuck, why didn't we talk about that?"
Yeah, no, I have so many that I've written down, but there's no way. There's so many, and even though I don't love this EP, I think it has like good songs in it. You can still hear their evolution. Like they're still getting way better. They're getting better as musicians. They're getting more technical and more intricate with their songwriting. Obviously, like everything else, I mean, it's definitely worth it.
Yep,
definitely worth it. On the next one, these next two are fuck. Okay, well, the next one, this is 1984 compilation.
Tour.
This is I think I mixed up the order. So Politics of Time.
Okay.
It's a compilation. Half of it is live, and the other half is studio stuff that was recorded in like 81 through 83 or something like that.
Yes.
So we're covering it because it has actual studio stuff. So,
and like new stuff that's just not.
Yeah, not been heard. So this is it's hard to judge this one like an album because it's a compilation.
There's even like a live song that's not even audible, but it's just on there because Henry Rollins like made a reference in his book.
Oh, really?
About it. So
interesting.
Yeah. So this is kind of like the redheaded stepchild, the Minutemen albums. I really like Joy Jam. If you want your free jazz,
I don't remember it.
Your free jazz fix. Joy Jam to me is the standout track in here. I think obviously the audio stuff is real good. Some of the live stuff gets lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we come into the issue of, well, there's 27 tracks on here.
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
It's things do get lost, but Joy Jam is a standout to me. But yeah, that gives you like a little taste of this, how weird it is.
Yeah, it gets weird. I absolutely hate punk live albums.
They're not really good.
I can't think of a single one that I enjoy. They're broke. They can't afford a good live album. It sounds like ass, and most of the time they were fighting with crowd members mid-performance.
Getting spit on, yeah.
Getting spit on. And this sounds, well, the live half of this sounds like that. The first half, the studio half, I thought that was pretty good. I would say I would only recommend the first 7 tracks, honestly. And there's 20 more after that.
Yeah, what track number is Joy Jam?
I think that's one of the later ones.
Yeah, I go to 11. So.
Okay. First, I mean, I like the studio stuff. I mean, it sounds like Paranoid Time era. It's not. I don't think it's quite as memorable, but it's still in that vein.
I think they started recording this during Bean Spill, so there's like tracks from 82 on here. So.
Also, it was weird kind of going to this one after Buzzer Howl because of how advanced that one is. And all of a sudden we're back to really fast and messy.
Well, it makes sense if these tracks were recorded before.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, there's always like these weird filler albums that are recorded before or after. And
it gets messy.
It's an interesting discography.
Yeah, I would, out of all, as much as I love the Minutemen, I would skip this one. Like I don't think I'm going back to this one.
Really?
This was hard for me.
Really?
It's just too much of the live shit, and I fucking I can't do live punk live albums. I don't even like regular live albums unless it sounds really, really good.
Well, I'm calling an audible. I didn't think too highly of this album at first, but I was thinking about it right now, and I'm like, I think it's worth a listen.
All right, fair enough.
I think it's good.
All right, let's move on. How long is that one? 10 minutes?
That one is long for a Minuteman album. It's 35 minutes.
That is very long for a Minuteman album.
And it's the first time you get Ack Ack Ack.
Oh yeah, like that's
which comes up later.
Yeah, they cover that song quite a bit in their career. They even did a music video of it.
Yeah,
it was like all of the music video was the intro, and then like the actual song is like 20 seconds long or something.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's mostly an intro, and it's like a Three Stooges parody or like a Three Stooges reminiscent kind of skit.
Yeah, who they loved and they got compared to a lot.
I love it. I think it's fucking adorable. I love it. God damn. This next year. This is 1984. Well, not next year. Same year. 1984 Tour-Spiel. That sounds like fucking
you can
garbage.
Hold out the 15 seconds. So, I got to give this one worst album.
Okay.
Because I like the idea of it. It's just it sounds bad, and honestly, like Green River's kind of fun, but it's not that different.
It's 4 cover songs recorded like shit.
Yes.
Are they live?
And then like the red and black is good, but then you'll get a better version of that later on through like Ty. So I think it's skippable and it's not for me.
Agreed. I say skip it. I didn't give it worst because I couldn't even qualify it as a thing to give worst. Like, because it's 4 songs, 4 covers. Is it live? Because it sounds live.
Yeah.
4
Hence
live.
the tour.
Yeah. That makes sense. 4 live covers. What about that means I should spend any time listening to this? Like,
I'm real interested what you're gonna give worst to now.
Okay. That's
it's real interesting.
Because this one, it's like, honestly, objectively, like this is kind of the worst. If you're gonna classify this as equal to everything we've covered so far, and I suppose I'm being a little bit like not good at my job because I did give my personal favorite to Joy, which has 3 songs, but at least those were written songs.
No, I don't think that's with this group. I don't think that's like unprofessional because then it's almost like if you're saying, well, I can't give like a 3-5 minute EP the best, then you're kind of like disqualifying the quality of songs. So
so it's real bad. It's real bad. I would never recommend this
for hardcore fans.
Hardest of core, and I'm a hardcore fan, and I can't get on board. Don't do this one. Fuck. Okay, but now we're on to the big one. We're gonna talk about this one for a while. This is what the Minutemen are known for. This album. This is one of the most iconic albums in punk history, pretty much. What are we doing? What are we doing?
This is still 1984. Double nickels on the dime.
So, are we in agreement here?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Best album. Okay.
Yeah,
this album holds such a strong place in my heart, and every time I pop it in, I get just like happy, and I mellow the fuck out. This was a delight going back to this one.
Yeah, so we were talking about like the quieter acoustic songs. I love Cohesion.
No, Cohesion.
Do you want New Wave?
Yep.
Or do you want The Truth?
So weird and quiet and creepy.
Oh man. I love how we could just like talk about like the album title or like the album artwork.
We should talk about all of it because it's so interesting. This album is so interesting.
And this is like really where like the inside joke. So double nickels
on the dime.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So double nickels would be driving 55 miles on
Of course it would be.
On the 10 freeway, and it was like a fuck you to Sammy Hagar because he comes out with I can't drive 55, but the music is so pedestrian. So Mike Watt's like, well, fuck you. We'll drive the speed limit.
Yeah.
But we'll be weird.
Yeah.
We'll be weird with our music. Like our music will be rebellious.
Yeah.
We won't be like breaking the law.
So double nickels on the dime means 55 exactly on the dime. On the dime exactly.
Yeah. And the album cover, which they had to do like multiple drive-throughs because there wasn't Photoshop or anything, is Mike Watt perfectly at 55 miles per hour with the San Pedro.
The sign for the 110 freeway where it says San Pedro, and then his eyes in the rearview mirror. Like, it's a shot of like from a back seat of a car, and none of it lands. None of what they're trying to convey lands.
No.
I saw like a high when I was listening to this album. I was looking at a high resolution big photo of the album cover. Couldn't tell that it's 55 miles an hour. Couldn't tell. Like it's none of it landed.
Oh, and yeah, it's such like a weird phrase too. Like, why would you even think about like Sammy Hagar's?
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
Like, and referring to 55 miles per hour as double nickels, never.
Yeah,
Who's
so
done
weird.
that?
Mike Watt has.
Oh, that fucking beautiful soul. This is the like if you have any passing interest in the Minutemen, like this is the opportune place. I don't even know if that's the right word to use, but production is not only great, but it is the perfect production for this band because it highlights every instrument. Boon still has his extremely trebly guitar with like no distortion. But it's all, there's no reverb. Everything is very it sounds like they're in the room with you. Very small setup. Nothing is hidden behind any studio tricks. Everything is just the songs, the way they're written. Every song is kind of produced the same way, more or less. It's just three good musicians playing this funky punk.
Yeah, and this is like, if it's like your first time like me, or you just kind of have like very limited knowledge, it is very easy to overlook a lot of songs on here because it's long.
Yep.
But yeah, there's like 49 tracks or something.
Yeah. On the version that's streaming, I think there's 43.
Okay.
But there was meant to be more. Do you know the backstory behind that?
Well, I know that it wasn't supposed to be a double album, but someone played them Husker Du's Zen Arcade, which wasn't even out yet. And they were like, well, we can do a double album.
Yeah, why can't we do a double album? And then they did a double within like 2 weeks. They wrote and recorded or something like that.
Something crazy. So you get
unbelievable.
Two of the best, probably the only double punk albums in 1 year, pretty much. Yeah. Like, it's fucking insane.
And man, just to kind of comprehend, 45 plus songs on one album. This thing is like 80 minutes long or 75 minutes for the streaming. So the difference is, and I'm really mad about this, is the version that's streaming for some fucking reason is the 1989 CD version.
Oh, so it's out of order.
No, it's in the same order, but they remove songs to fit it. So on the original double LP, the way it was constructed was every member had their own side. So it was Boon's side, Mike Watt's side, George Hurley's side, and then side chaff, which they called side chaff because it was like all the songs that the leftover songs, which is so self-aware. Like, okay, it's a long album. Here are the bad ones at the end, and there's still good songs on there.
Yeah,
but they took off. I think every member might have had a solo track.
Okay.
On the streaming version, it's only George Hurley's, which is "You Need the Glory," which is him like, it's ridiculous. It's him hitting bongos and like yelling. But they took off this version of Little Man with a Gun in His Hand. And this version, I think, is just way better than the original. If you see live footage of them playing the song, they play it differently than the version on Buzzer Howl. This is the version they're playing.
Okay.
And they took it off of the CD version, I guess, to fit all the songs.
CD.
But they left Dr. Wu, the cover of Dr. Wu from fucking Steely Shitty Dan. And they also left the live cover of Don't Look Now from Creedence, which, if you're going to like
cut those.
Yeah. Cut the live songs or the fucking cover songs if you're going to try to squeeze, or because it's streaming now, just put them all back.
I'm bothered by that. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
But anyway, fucking quote unquote politics aside, so many good songs. I don't even know where to begin.
I'll throw one out there. I love the drumming on Nature Without Man, so I'm gonna play a little bit of it. One reporter's opinion is real funny. It's this Mike Watt singing like criticisms
of himself
from I'm assuming from like reviews and
the lyrics are so funny.
Or there's that one, is it on here where like he's just singing about how like a tub is out of order?
Oh, it's Take 5D.
Yeah.
It's Mike Watt reading a note from his landlord. That's what it is. It's fantastic about like not using the shower. Don't use shower. Don't like and like the little jokey stuff in between. It's not super duper silly.
No, it's not distracting from the album at all.
It's still kind of musical. Even the filler tracks are still musical. We probably should have mentioned this earlier. Elephant in the room for this album is Corona.
Oh yeah,
it's the Jackass theme. If you've all seen Jackass, you've heard Corona.
You've heard the Minutemen, yeah.
So another thing I'm bothered by, like Jackass. If you watch any of the movies and the shows, they give credit to the Minutemen. According to Mike Watt, they have not been paid a dime.
Whoa!
They have not paid a double nickel nor a dime.
Whoa!
And I think because Mike Watt is such a good dude and he's so like, fuck it, man. Who gives a shit? He never sued. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. He doesn't want the money. Like he's not interested in money. He's still just a dude playing bass even today. But it's interesting from the Jackass perspective. Like you guys love all these punk bands. Why wouldn't you throw a few bucks?
Or yeah, these are like guys who are like low lives themselves.
Yeah, and I love Jackass. Oh, I don't love that they didn't pay Mike Watt and George Hurley.
Yeah, that's especially what's fucking is it Spike Jones?
Yeah.
Spike Jones.
You mean Oscar winner Spike Jones?
Yeah. Like, come on. You're supposed to be cool.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't know what's happened. Like, that's the last thing I read was that he never got paid. I think it was in an interview. I don't know if things have changed since then. If you want to shit on me because I'm wrong, please do. But for years, that's pretty much the case. And people only know Corona from the Jackass theme, ding, 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 ding. But the song, as soon as the vocals kick in, it's beautiful.
Totally different song.
Completely different song. It's better. It's beautiful. It's actually kind of moving emotionally.
Yeah.
It's a fucking sad song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
God damn, I love Corona. Speaking of moving and sad, not only do I want to cry every time I hear History Lesson Part 2, the last time I listened to it, I did tear up.
Oh shit!
That song fucks with me. That song fucks with me hard. It's so good, good.
I don't know why that always like gets stuck in my head. The me and Mike Watt been playing punk rock for years. Yeah, like I forget the rest of the song exists.
Do 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 do.
Throw this on a little bit.
Oh, you made me fucking cry. God damn. Yeah, that song is fucking powerful.
I did write that I think my heart and the real world unintentionally invented Sublime.
Oh, fuck, I remember it. We're putting on all kinds of songs. There's so many songs on here.
That's the song right before that. We got Volume.
Yeah. Ultimately, like I had a lot of trouble decide like because this is such a first of all, it's a fucking great album, but it's also so important to me personally that of course like I want this to be my favorite, but I don't know. It was very tough for me to give it to Joy just because Joy it's just so flawless and it's so short and there's not a single here. There are songs on here that I don't care for, but the thing is, when you have over 40 tracks, I can count how many songs I don't like on one hand, and when your album has over 40 songs. That's insane.
It's a lot to take in. It's
just a fascinating album. God damn, I love it. It's their best objectively, but personal favorite. It was rough for me not to give it this one, but I think it's because like the songs toward the end, it kind of peters out. The cover of Dr. Wu really, really upsets me.
Does it?
Fucking hate it. And it doesn't need to be on there. Like,
that's why it's on the Chaff side, right?
It is on side Chaff. But and also the fact that like, man, you're gonna replace Little Man with a Gun in His Hand for that fucking shit. But
just
I don't know. This is
buy the vinyl.
Yes, buy the vinyl. June 16th. I also have to note it's one of the few instrumentals on here. There's so many. I don't know. I'm just gonna name song after song after song. They're all so fucking good. Please give this one a shot. Even skim through it, or even you know what? Fuck it. Just listen to Corona. If you're not turned by Corona, the whole song, not just the Jackass thing. Yeah. If you're not turned by that song, then I don't want to talk to you. Okay, let's move on. This is following year, 1985, Project Mersh. As you can hear, a little different.
Yeah, I still like it though.
I do too.
Yeah, I like the horn playing on the album.
I think it works. Yeah.
Yeah. All these songs are over 2 minutes.
It's their first attempt to be commercial. I mean, it's called Project Mersh. Mersh meaning commercial because they're the Minutemen and they talk like that.
Yeah.
And the first thing that's very, very painfully apparent is the production. The guitars are no longer cranked treble and 0 mids and bass. It's now they're mixed like a guitar, and now they're trying to play regular ass songs. It's still funky. It's a lot of funkiness on here.
Sure, it's still a breeze to listen to this. More spiel, 6 minutes.
More spiel, I think, is a fucking waste, and it infuriates me. Okay, so I think this is like one of their worst releases. But even saying that, it has some of their best songs on here, which is still weird. Like, Take Our Test, fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It has acoustic guitars all up in there, which is not that common with the Minutemen.
Cheerleaders,
I think is fucking funky and weird, but I still like it. I don't care for Hey Lady Mama. What the fuck is it called?
Oh, again, cover song.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah. King of the Hill, I think, is actually, we're just going to go song by song. It's so short. It's an EP. King of the Hill, I think, is actually really good, but it's very hard for me to take seriously. It makes me laugh, a lot of it.
I mean,
it's funky.
Probably meant to make you laugh.
I don't know that chorus where... it's a good song, but Tour-Spiel, the song Tour-Spiel.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Awesome song.
Yep.
More Spiel is the chorus to Tour-Spiel played for 6 minutes.
Weird.
That's what that is. And I don't understand it. It's baffling to me. I think it would be good if it weren't for that. Overall, I think this sounds like REM trying to start if REM started a Minutemen cover band.
Who they would go on to open for.
That's right. Later, yeah, around this time period, or was it a little bit after? Yeah,
I think it was around here.
Yeah, odd EP, good songs, odd. I wouldn't start here. I would not start here.
I was surprised how much I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of over the years, I've heard like this is one of the ones that gets shit on quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is their first, step toward, bad music or bad releases, and then I finally gave it a full shot, and this is still in my youth. I was still trying to I was still into the Minutemen. I thought wait, this is Take Our Test, man. Like how do you deny that? Tour-Spiel, how do you deny that? These are good fucking songs.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, don't start here. Good EP. Don't start here. Now we're on to the last album before D. Boon's tragic death.
He passed away a few days after it came out.
Oh, I did not know that.
Days after it came out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't know that. But now I'm sad. Last album. Or we're going to talk about one more EP after this, but this is the last album during their time as a band. This is 1985, Three-Way Tie for Last. Not very controversial for me. Worst album, least favorite.
Wow.
By no question.
Wow.
Yeah. I agree that Tour-Spiel is a awful release that should not be heard, but in terms of this is them writing songs and releasing it as a thing, this was rough. This is rough for me. I didn't like it.
I like that opening track.
Okay.
I like Political Nightmare. I think
Political Nightmare was good. Yeah.
I think the interplay of the guitar and the bass is real good. And then going back to the acoustics, I really like Stories.
Stories is good. I thought it actually, the vocals on this album I think are pretty bad, but that song I didn't note as highlighting how weak of a singer D. Boon actually was, because I really like his voice, especially in the earlier stuff. But this album to me sounds like a different band. There's little to no funk elements. The drums are big, real big and reverby. The songs are longer. Production is bad. The songs I feel are bad. There's so much reverb on here. And George Hurley, he sounds terrible. He sounds like he's not even sure what to play, which takes not only one of my favorite drummers, but my favorite aspect of the Minutemen and making it awful.
Sure.
I hate the way they sound on here. It's like they're trying to play traditional rock songs And because that's not their fucking thing, you see these holes, or you hear these holes, like Boon's voice, like him trying to sing a regular ballad. He doesn't sound that good. He's really good when he yells stuff and he sings things in short phrases. But in a presentation like this, I thought it was fucking real hard to sit through. The song No One might be their worst song ever. Fuck, man. And there's so many covers on here. So many covers.
Yeah, like the CCR cover's pretty like standard. They don't like Minutemen it up.
No, the cover, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? I do think his vocals on there are especially abysmal. He's no John Fogerty.
No, but no one is.
No one is. Yeah. But they also cover they cover Lost from the Meat Puppets. They cover almost every song on Tour-Spiel they cover on here.
Yeah.
Everything except for Green River.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think Tour-Spiel is not good, because you can just get a better version of it here.
And these are undoubtedly better versions, although I still don't enjoy listening to them. Ack, Ack, Ack. Wait, who's that? Who is that by? Ack, Ack, Ack. I forgot.
That's by them, isn't it?
No. Ack, Ack, Ack's a cover.
Well,
I'm going to Google it as we speak. Ack. That is by... I'm not looking for a horse. What?
Yeah. That's... I did not know that was a cover. I just thought that was all them.
Holy crap. I Googled Ack, 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 and then Billy Joel came up.
Did Billy Joel cover the Minutemen?
You know what? Maybe it was a minute. Hold on. Shit. Uh-oh. Am I just like, my memory just like misleading me?
Aren't you gonna look stupid?
I might actually. Yeah.
That's them, dude.
Wait. Really? Who fed me a crock of shit that it was a cover? You know, maybe it is. No, it's not theirs. It's by who the fuck is? Oh yeah, the Urinals.
All right.
Yeah.
At least it's not a well-known band.
No, that's why I couldn't find it. I don't know. I've never heard the Urinals before, but yeah, that it is a cover. But yeah, this version of this version of the Minutemen's version sounds good. Is what I'm trying to say. But it's like, I don't know, it sounds like a mainstream attempt gone wrong. It's missing everything that made the Minutemen fantastic.
More than Project Mersh.
More, because Project Mersh still, not only did it still have some funkiness to it, I mean, the songs, they're still fucking good. And these ones, they're trying, it's like they're trying to distance themselves from the funkiness and the Minutemen, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Awful production. It's odd that the last album has the worst production for me. Like, Minutemen's drums are not meant to be big. Like, they're too tight and snappy and fast. Yeah. Worst and least favorite for me. I made me sad. Boon died apparently 3 days after this, or a few days after this. But let's move on to a posthumous EP. This was recorded around the same time as Project Mersh, around 85. This is essentially
a super group.
It's more like a gigantic jam session between Black Flag, all the members of Lucena era Black Flag, which is Greg Ginn, Henry Rollins, Bill Stevenson, and Kira Rossler, and then the Minutemen. So this is 1986 Minute Flag. That song is like this happy, fun in the sun, tropical montage song.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it. And then the rest of it is woof.
I dig it.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
What is there to... Okay, explain yourself.
I like that it doesn't sound like Black Flag or Minutemen.
Nope, not at all.
I like that George Hurley is not playing the drums. He's like on congos.
He's on the bongos.
Yeah. And then, this feeds more into like that free jazz element. So I threw it on thinking I knew what I was getting. I did not know what I was getting.
Yeah.
It's not amazing by any means.
I think it's one of the worst. I think Power Failure is pretty cool. It's like kind of edgy sounding. It's real heavy. Reminds me of sludgy kind of, I like that. But Friends and Candy Rush, the other two, it's just jammy nonsense to me. Like not even relaxing, put it on the background jamminess.
Sure.
It's just, a bunch of dudes in a room, like just sticking around.
That's pretty much
a bunch of dudes and a girl.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the album is. So,
yeah, they're not songs. It's just a bunch of friends jamming out.
Yeah, so it's if you're a fan of both bands and you're not like a purist, I think it's a cool listen. But yeah, it's not like a must. It's just more like a cool little side note in the history of both bands.
I think it's also funny because we'll be covering Black Flag in the near future, and this is technically part of their discography too, but we ain't fucking doing that twice. But it's I like the first few tracks. It's inconsequential. I think it's almost fucking anticlimactic to end the episode with this because it's not really the last. Because what I read on Wikipedia, which is probably completely wrong, was that when they recorded this, they said, okay, we won't release it until at least one of us breaks up, one of the bands.
Oh, wow.
And then Boon died, and then like a year later, or not a year later, no, like a year after it was recorded, not long after Boon died. That's when they released it. Which is why we're doing it last, because it's very, very much their last thing. But I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I'm not going to go back to it. This is, I don't know, whatever.
I'll go back to it as this weird thing I didn't even know existed until.
It is interesting. It's fun. But if I'm gonna go back to Minutemen, there's so much more good. They have so much good that I'm not. Why would I bother with this? The novelty stuff, I guess. I don't know.
It's a novelty.
Yeah. So we danced around it a little bit. D Boon's death. He is part of the 27 Club. Which is fucking very sad. It was a tragic death. He was a van accident. I think he was like sick with the flu. He was sleeping in the back. His girlfriend was driving.
Oh, fuck.
I think I heard different stories. Like one story I heard that she fell asleep at the wheel. Another one I heard that the rear axle broke off. But either way, he was like thrown from the van and he broke his neck and died like immediately. Super sad, and especially when you hear Mike Watt talk about it, because they're best for like brothers, and it's fucking heartbreaking. And Mike Watt was obviously him and George were super depressed, and Mike Watt swore she's like, I'm never doing music again, like not without D Boon, never again.
Oh wow.
And then I don't remember his name, but the singer and guitarist from Firehose, the band that Mike Watt and George Hurley started afterward, he was a fan of Minutemen. He like such a strange kid. He's like just this fan, and he contacted Mike Watt, like begging him to play music again or something like that. And I guess he convinced him, and then Mike Watt's still playing music now. He's doing like we call him Mike Watt and the Missing Man, I believe. He's had a bunch of solo albums. He's still going strong. He's still touring. I think he's still on tour right now as we speak.
I super random. When I was still expanding my world of music, I saw him open up for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, really?
And then another.
Should have been the other goddamn way around. I don't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers either, guys.
You know what's funny? It was Mike Watt and Flaming Lips opening up.
That's a fucking crime.
Yeah.
It's a fucking crime.
So,
Jesus Christ. I hate the Red Hot Chili Peppers so fucking much, man.
I'm indifferent about them. But, and then the second time, I don't know if he was advertised or he showed up to this venue, The Smell, and I think it was him and Kira.
Mm-hmm. Oh, were they doing Dose?
I think they were.
Yeah, so he was married to Kira from Black Flag for a while, and they have I don't know if they're still together. Probably not. Another divorce. I mean, like the band. It was a duo called Dose, 2 bass players, which is a very interesting concept.
It's crazy.
I never heard them.
It was like nuts because you're like, this shouldn't work, but it is. So
interesting. Mike Watt's so fucking talented, and he's such a charismatic dude. I follow that guy to the ends of the earth.
Also, he I mean, obviously the Minutemen is more like a cult following, and those who know. But I don't know, like who else says, oh, I'm just gonna show up to like this all ages venue and randomly do like a 20-minute set.
It's wonderful. Yeah. God damn. God bless him. I'm not sure what George Hurley's up to now, but he was in Firehose with Mike Watt and the other guy. It's so unprofessional. I'm gonna Google that guy's name. but I don't know what he's done. Maybe he's surfing. Who knows? Fuck. What is this guy's name? The guy's name is, I'm an idiot. That's not the guy's. Ed Crawford. Duh. Okay. That was bothering me. Ed Crawford. That's the guy who, this is hilarious. If you Google fire hose and then you go to the Wikipedia page, the photo of the band is just Mike Watt.
As it should be.
As it should be. But anyway, that's going to conclude it for us. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, hate, love, anything you want, send all that to everyalbumever@gmail.com. And if you like us, tell a friend. That would help a lot. Rate, subscribe, iTunes. What?
Real quick.
What's that?
We're going to do a recap.
Oh! You want to hear something? You know the fucking double dumb thing about that? On my notes, I have notes to have me to remind me of what to do. In front of me, in all caps, it says recap episode because I've forgotten in the past, and I still just glossed right by it. Recap. Alex, why don't you go first? Jesus Christ.
Personal favorite, the punchline. Obvious, and then worst, Tour-Spiel, and then obvious, nothing controversial here. Best album, Double Nickels on the Dime.
Okay, good stuff. Personal favorite, Joy, 1981. It's 3 minutes, but please listen to it. Best, unsurprisingly, Double Nickels on the Dime, 1984, and also not controversial for me and for a lot of people who like the Minutemen, Three-Way Tie for Last, 1985. Worst, least favorite, without a doubt. Makes me sad. But not as sad as D. Boon's death.
As a newer listener, I don't see it. I think it's...
All right, so maybe there's some merit. Or maybe Alex has bad taste. Whichever. You never know.
No, we didn't really get into it. This was a tame...
Yeah. So back to the plug bullshit. What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, tell a friend, rate, subscribe, iTunes, Spotify, all the things. It'll help us out a whole bunch. We want to expand. We want to get bigger, do more things. Maybe... I don't know. I kind of like our setup, but maybe we need lights to light us.
We need lights.
I need to do a lot of post-production stuff to make it so you can see us, and that's fucking pain in the ass because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, also be sure to check out the Spotify playlist. Minutemen, as well as all the past episodes. You can follow Alex directly on Spotify at Mother Puncher Inc., Mother Puncher INC, or you can just go to everyalbumever.com and they're gonna be posted there. Also, Instagram, you can follow me at Pope Jesse Ventura and Alex at
Mother Puncture.
And last time, thank you for listening and watching. Who's picking the song?
I think you are. I would feel wrong picking last song.
And the song that I thought I had in mind, we already played a little bit of it. So I'm gonna think on the dime. I'm sorry, that was stupid. Because they're all so short. You know what? This isn't as hard as a decision as I thought it was going to be. This is Little Man with a Gun in His Hand.
There you go.
There we go. Thanks for listening, guys. See ya.